All right, so this is the last part for you can getting your handstand. Episode 1 is going to help you out for your foundation. Episode 2 is all about using the wall. This is going to be getting your very first freestanding handstand. Let's get started. All right, so we're going to first start off with what I want to do. The most important one is your fear. The fear factor of getting a handstand. I know that I did have a video about how to bail out safely, but I'm being more in depth for this more. Now, the thing about going to the wall right here is that yes, it is scary when you are coming from here and you can't balance at all. If it's anything, if you try and prevent this from happening, just shove it like this, and as far as going like this, just tap like that. Now, if you do find yourself to the point where you about to too much, come here, cartwheel out, and then either go to your right or to your left. Now, this is the one thing I can understand about people, that it's fear, but you have to overcome it. There's gonna be baby versions you can do. You can either go from the wall from right here and keep like that to get used to being upside down, or what you can do to make sure you keep your balance is to make sure that you don't go, see how I'm not walking all the way up yet, going like this. You can keep right here from this triangle, keep your butt down, and extend out. This helps you out a little bit more with your foundation in your free handstand. The whole thing is that this to make sure that you can overcome that fear eventually. Eventually, yes, you do have to get over that fear, but my other video can show you how to bail out correctly, because there are other ways to bail out except just for that one. Let me get started with the next one, but I got a bonus one for you in the next one. All right, so to go a little bit more in depth with this, I call this the balance triangle. Now, all this is that I remember from my shorts and from my very first video about finding your hands on the handstand. Your fingers are the brakes, your palm is the gas pedal, and then your shoulders are the steering wheel. So which means if I'm trying to go to, let's say, to my left, my shoulders going leaning into the left. If my shoulders going to right, I'm going to my right. Either way you look at it. The thing about this is that when you're doing like this, because you won't be controlling it that good in this flat. The whole thing is that you gotta make sure you get a claw motion. All the claw motion is that you're actually twitching the floor every time that this is actually breaking you. Now, yes, as you notice, the handstand is not all about holding yourself straight and you're just staying still. Actually, half the time it's actually a seesaw motion when you're going like this a little bit. A lot of times when I started out is that when I was actually beginning the handstand, I was doing a lot of going back and forth, and I make sure I was balancing myself correctly. Eventually, your body and your mind, your nervous system can actually get you balanced to the point where once you kick up, you can actually stay still for a while. Now, the thing about your palms is that whatever it is that you're going to do, let's say, for example, that you're going to go forward a lot. Your palm is going to go forward a lot with you, because that is where that main butter and that main bread is right there. Your palm is always there, but your fingers are there to stop you so you won't be overextending yourself too much. Hopefully, I'll explain a little bit better. That we can understand why each part is so important, because your fingers are going to stop you. You're going to be using your fingers a lot most of the time for your handstands, because it's going to stop you from tipping over, so that we can get a little bit easier for the free handstand. All right, now that you get a little bit better about the balance triangle, this is actually the drill that helped me out a lot, is actually toe drags in for the bottom with the wall. This kind of bridges the gap for you using the wall and the freestanding in the end. I'm gonna show the best way I can show it possible, because it is kind of difficult and it is kind of to the point you get some shoulder strength in the end. But like I said, if you work on your pike push-ups correctly and doing your elevated pike push-ups, you should have enough strength in the end to hold it for about a second or two. Let me explain that. Now, one thing for sure is that when you walk up from here, kind of give yourself a little space here. And all this is that dragging your toe out. All this is that you're making sure you're putting your fingers on here and you're dragging your foot out. This is not no tippy toe type motion at all. No. What this is that you're going forward and making sure you're holding in, or you're holding your fingers, I mean. When you're holding in your fingers, you're just dragging out your toe like that. So just in case you do fall off, your toe's coming back. This is a good way for yourself to get some balance. And if you actually look at it, you're actually already at that freestanding phase right now. The thing that makes this perfect, if you want to try and be a perfectionist, is keeping your toes together like that. Now, this is where it gets complicated for a lot of people. And listen to me when I say this. Perfection is going to be the killer to your skill. Do not worry about perfection. Do not worry about perfect form. All that matters is first, when you're doing the handstand especially, is that you're understanding the balance and you're in your freestanding at least. It does not matter to me if I was training you, if it was like a second or two, that's fine. Because you are going to build that up eventually. I was at a point where I can only do 2 seconds of freestanding handstand. Whole thing is, you practice this and you practice this and you practice this. It's all about consistency when it comes down to this drill. All right. So now the next one is the all-knowing kick up. This is how I learned from it, and this is what I know from it. I will admit to you, sometimes works and sometimes doesn't. That I have to do various times to keep myself balanced, but there's the kick up right here. This is not right. Say you're in a spring position, this is spring position. What you want to do is make sure your head is above your fingers. You'll be able to like just look down, you see like this. It should not be like this and you're almost looking at your wrist at all. All this is, you keep pushing up and then making sure, this will take some time, make sure your hips are stacked against each other. So that way it's perfectly aligned. And when you actually get to that angle, or I want to say that position, you're going to feel like, it's going to feel like a golden moment where you know you're balancing in. So it's going to demonstrate right here. So this is not a go, because look what's going to happen. Too much momentum. I'm got to put too much power in, but when I push myself up a little bit, squeeze my core a little bit, you see how I can almost get myself up and it's starting to go like this. So make sure you go up like this, kick up. And that is how you're going to get your freestanding. Now, like I said, it is totally fine if you can only hold it for about a second, you come right back down. That is fine. Remember, you are building this up every time you are doing it. This skill is not meant for you to be automatically, oh, I could do 20 seconds of this. No. You build yourself up to the point you can do 20 seconds or more. Whole main goal is that you can able to balance it. You should be able to balance it correctly for a good 30 seconds or more. But remember, I'm saying build it up, not doing it all at once, and you should build that up right when you get freestanding again. Hope that makes sense. All right, so to brief off with this episode and this last one, make sure you like, share, and subscribe for this. I hope you are really learning something from this and you're actually getting your handstand. All I'm trying to help out is people who are starting on calisthenics get the skills they want, whilst progress with me getting various other skills I want to get in. So if you like this, make sure you give a like, share, follow, and subscribe. And let me know down in the comment section what you want to see next. So let me go ahead and give you a challenge at the end of this video. This challenge is called the 5-second fight in the end. All this is, I want you to do is that for the people who really want to progress really fast and really get into it, or the one to get their handstand as quickly as possible, or hold it as quickly as possible. For what I did is that you set a timer, like say there's a timer right here, and you just kick up. You just kick up just like so, like this, and you hold it for as long as you can. Doesn't matter if it's like this. What I did is that I put a minute in, and then every time I'm coming down just like this. I kick right back up, hold them just like that, kick, stop it. All right, while the minute is still going, I'm just kicking up as much as possible while I find that sweet spot, and I'm holding it for as long as I can. And this is how you elevate yourself, and this is how you progress even faster. Just make sure you do not hurt yourself. I don't want to be people busting their backs in the end, and not too much of a point where you're not able to balance in the end. But that's kind of why I'll put a challenge in. Basically, from the overview, you put the minute on for your phone or for your timer, and you kick up as many times as you can. Try to hold the hands as much as possible, if it's like a second or two or more. But the whole minute, your goal is to do 5 seconds or more on the handstand. That way, when the minute is done, you rest for 3 minutes. And if you want to do more, do a minute again. So this is the end of the series for getting your first handstand and building up. I'm going to break this down to a playlist for series to keep coming back for you to actually look at it back to back, or to learn some more tips. There are various more that I did on my channel that I'm put on there too, that you can learn some tips that you can know. Hope you really do like this video. Share, like, subscribe to this video for many more, and I see you next one. Peace.